on. Like, somebody doing that for show is just so different than people doing that literally every single day for their life. You know?
Right. Well, at least like Survivor Man used to actually do it, but then there was the other guy. What was the other guy's name? The other guy who was the other show. The guy who was the British handsome fellow who's in
Bear Grylls.
Yeah, Bear Grylls. What's his show called?
Well, he's got one now called Running Wild with Bear Grylls, which I know because I did it with him last year or 2 years ago, which actually is cool. But that's more like an interview style show where he takes people on experiences.
Man vs. Wild?
Oh yeah, Man vs. Wild.
Is that what it is?
That was his original.
But the thing about him was like people got mad because they found out he would go to a hotel at night.
No. So that was a different thing. So I actually talked to him a bit about it while we did the thing. Mm-hmm. So originally he was just doing the full, and I think maybe his show predated the Survivor Man thing.
No, it didn't.
I think it may have.
No, it definitely didn't. I'll tell you why I know.
Sure?
Because Les Stroud is a friend of mine, and he's been on the show. And the reason this show with Bear Grylls was created is because Les wouldn't fake things. Les refused to go. They wanted to do things to set things up for him to make it look like it was more difficult than it is, and he didn't want to do any of that. He filmed everything himself. The entire Survivor Man show.
What network is Survivor Man?
I don't remember.
Oh, yeah, okay.
It was but it was the same people that were producing it. They go, well, we'll show you, and then they went and did this other show, and then he got busted for sleeping in hotels.
Well, so the way Bear Grylls tells it is more that the first several seasons of the show was basically like surviving, where it's like everybody's just out in the bush, like doing the hard thing, and it's kind of grim. And then basically said over time, you just realize that the show is as well received either way. Like, basically people enjoy the entertainment of the show regardless. And he's like, you don't need the whole crew to suffer. You don't need to suffer. Like, nobody needs to be out there like getting worked and wherever for 9 days when you can make a good show in 2.
That sounds like what I would say if I got busted sleeping in hotels.
Well, and so anyway, but now his new show though basically has just taken a different track, because ultimately the what's the thing, Running Wild Burger, the thing he does now is basically just take other people out and like have an experience with them, and it's basically just a format for interviewing like interesting people.
Oh, okay. Just a wild environment. Yeah,
so it's like taking like he took Obama out into like a reserve in Alaska, you know, to like a wild places or something.
Imagine if he took Obama somewhere and Obama got killed by a bear.
Dude, well, I think there were Secret Service snipers like ready to shoot a grizzly.
Really?
You know? Yeah, I think so.
Wow.
But
that's a pretty cool gig. And once you leave, you get Secret Service protection for life.
But do you want that? Do you want people following you around
with a gun everywhere
and like a walkie and stuff, like at all constantly times? Like,
yeah, but that's the problem is that people legitimately want to kill you.
Yeah, totally. That's Secret
Service is there.
Yeah, that's the real bummer. Yeah, do you want to have a lot of people that want to kill you your whole life? That sucks.
Yeah, the thing, I understand what you're saying though about that guy walking around barefoot, but I think he's like a serious survivor guy, and I think in his eyes, you don't want to depend on shoes. So he's developed his feet to the point where he could walk on hot rocks and walk everywhere. Yeah,
the thing is though that people who actually don't have shoes all want shoes. You know what I mean? Like
that's not necessarily.
Mostly though. I mean, that's the thing is like all this like survivory stuff, you know, it's like when you go into like indigenous villages in the Amazon, like they want refrigeration, they want electricity, they want DirecTV. Like actually this village we were in, the guy was like, I want DirecTV, and we were kind of like, well, you need power first, you know, and like you need connectivity in some way. Like, you know, you need any kind of infrastructure, but it's like people want solid wooden floors. They want, you know, they want medicine. I mean, communication for, there's so much. I just think it's a little weird to like celebrate the survivory stuff where it's like, oh, you know, you should toughen yourself up and get back to nature. And you're like, yeah, that's cool. But the vast majority of people that live that way are like actively seeking a slightly more comfortable and slightly more secure lifestyle.
Yeah, I totally understand what you're saying.